The Detroit Lions here in Week 11 with a chance to make it 3 wins in a row, and this one on the road. They got it done here. 31-18 is the final. Detroit Lions coming in and dominating not only on the offensive end, but the defensive end as well, even making some big plays on special teams. Opportunistic, and they were complimentary today. Joined by Lomas Brown, I'm Danny Rogers here for the Detroit Lions live post-game show presented by MGM Grand Detroit. You guys know what comes next. It's a Lions dub. Well, we changed it up a little bit. Ready? Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Boom! Huh? Would you believe we just rehearsed that?
That's some coordination right there.
Look, that's what all of these Detroit Lions players and coaches were doing with 2 minutes left on that clock, 1st and 10, and they knew they could kneel this game away and come up with a big W on the road. Yes. Lomas, where did they dominate the most today?
Oh, up front, Danny, it was the big fellas. I'm not just saying that because I'm a big fellas, but the big fellas did it up front. Offensively and defensively, they controlled the line of scrimmage. They gave Jared Goff time to throw the ball. They gave Jamal and those running backs room to run the ball. And on the defensive side of the ball, oh my goodness, we're having to Saquon Barkley. I mean, they did an excellent job today. Kudos to the big guys up front.
Head coach Dan Campbell said coming into this game, the only way that running back Saquon Barkley, who leads the NFL in rushing yards, is a non-factor in games is when he isn't playing. He was a non-factor today, just 22 rushing yards. Some people were asking if he was hurt. Giants were taking him out. He just wasn't getting it done. So on the defensive front, that's where they came up big.
Yes.
Alim McNeill, first defensive drive, comes up with a sack. He was getting it done in the pass game, run game. What'd you see out of him?
Danny, he played phenomenal today. I mean, like you said, pass game, he was putting pressure on the quarterback. Run game, he was destroying the guy in front of him, getting him off of him and making plays. I think this might have been the best game that I've seen Alim McNeill play all year long. He was a force in that middle. He was much needed, and that defensive line, they played their hearts out today.
You're going to hear from Alim McNeill here soon. He told me after the game he woke up feeling a little bit different today, so he'll go more into detail on that. Let's take a look at the final stats from this game. Detroit forcing Daniel Jones to throw the ball a lot. Over 270 yards in the air, but that 89 rushing yards sticks out so much.
It does, Danny. The thing that they wanted to do was, we knew he was a pretty good quarterback. We know he could use his arms and his legs. I thought they did a nice job eliminating the run for Daniel Jones, and like you say, forcing him to throw the ball. And when he threw it, he gave us the opportunities that we thought we were going to get. Those guys, our defensive guys, took advantage of it, and I think that was the telltale thing. They hadn't had a lot of turnovers here in New York in the last couple of weeks. I think we got 3 or 4 today, and that was the difference for us. So nice job from the defense, Aaron Glenn, and all those 11 guys out on the field today.
Defensive lineman Aidan Hutchinson coming up with his second ever interception in his entire football career. He did it the first time 2 weeks ago against Green Bay, and then another rookie, safety Kirby Joseph, coming up with his 3rd interception of the year. He had 2 against Green Bay. So for the second game this season, you have 2 rookies coming up with interceptions. Impactful.
The future looks so bright because these guys are getting valuable playing time right now, but they're making impact plays, man. The interceptions, you know, the turnovers that they're causing. These are impact plays, and these are great for young guys to do that because all it does is build their confidence and know that they belong in this game. So kudos to all those guys. Hopefully they'll keep building, keep learning, and keep doing what they've been doing.
Yeah, Kirby Joseph, taking a look at his final stats now. I mean, he was all over the field, and he just continues to come up with such big plays here in this game. Offensively, we don't want to not talk about Jamal Williams, who I'm sure you'll hear from here soon as well. 3 touchdowns in this game.
He's just getting it done, Danny, and he gets the tough yardage. Man, like T.J. Lane said one time, he's running like a grown man out there. And he was punishing people. Him, Justin Jackson, they were punishing people when they were running. It took more than one guy to bring them down, and that's what we like to see. And that all that does is help your big fella. It gives the big guys up front more and more confidence that these guys could get it done in the backfield.
Jamal Williams coming in with 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, adding 3 today puts him in the lead in the entire NFL in rushing touchdowns now with 12. We've heard the coaches say he is having a career year.
Yes.
Jamal's told me this is a contract year for him. How laser focused is he right now?
Hey, strictly laser focused. Look, contract year, you get to make a lot of big money, Danny. You lay it out on the line. But I thought Jamal, again, the last couple of years, he's been a really, really good player for us. And like I say, he deserves it. Jamal has been our bell cow all year long for us. I expect him to continue to do the same thing. And then hopefully we can pay that young man.
I agree. He's coming up on what could be his first 1,000-yard rushing year for his career, which is kind of crazy to think. He's really taking on the load so well here. More of a balanced attack here offensively for the Detroit Lions. When Goff needed to throw the ball, they did. When they needed to run, they could do that. How balanced was it?
It was, and good. I go to the big guys up front.
Yeah.
If Goff, Jared didn't get the time, if they didn't get the lanes that they needed to make these plays work, they wouldn't work. But Jared was calm. Jared didn't force anything today. Then he took what was given to him, and that's a great sign of a good quarterback, and it's a good sign of a good offense starting to get his rhythm down. It's really starting to put his foot forward. So I was very happy about the way we played. Hopefully we can keep that balance in a couple of more days coming up too.
You talk about that rhythm. You could see Amon-Ra St. Brown, the receiver, getting back into his rhythm. Over 100 receiving yards last week. Not as much here today. Checking out his stats. We'll get them to you here soon. But you have Amon-Ra getting back into the swing of things. DeAndre Swift was able to punch in that last touchdown of the game. Not getting a whole lot done on the ground, DeAndre Swift, but he's starting to perhaps find his rhythm, getting healthier and healthier here today. And that offensive line you keep talking about. Evan Brown was at right guard today. Went down injured earlier in this one.
Great point.
Here comes Dan Skipper.
Great point. And normally when you have a guy go down on the offensive line, it kind of hurts you a little bit. I didn't see any drop off with them. Dan Skipper stepped in, did a great job. And you can kind of see when this offense and when these guys get healthy, Danny, we're going to have a pretty good offense. I mean, think about it. Getting a healthy DeAndre, Amon-Ra, getting him back to fully healthy. DJ Chark. Just think about some of the guys that we have for Jared to be able to utilize, but it all starts up front with the big fellas.
Don't forget third down killer Tom Kennedy, okay? Do not disrespect that man.
I like that.
All right, head coach Dan Campbell standing by at the podium now. Let's hear from him on his third win in a row.
Game plan they developed, we knew what we had to do, and the players executed it. Everything that we said we had to do and needed to do to beat this team, we did that really for almost all of the game. You know, there was a couple of spots in there, but you know these guys are they're playing their asses off, and they're starting to figure out a way to win. We all are. So it's it's a credit to these guys and the coaches.
Saquon Barkley, 15 carries, 22 yards. You knew that that was a big one coming in. He was the NFL's leading rusher, but to hold him to what you did and them to under 100 yards, they were the third leading rushing team. Just talk about your defense and then getting some turnovers too, just the way they played collectively.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much speaks for itself. We knew he was the key. We could not let him get going, and we did that. I mean, you just said it. I don't know what that average is, 1.4 or something. But I mean that was huge. Because everything did run through him, and so that was the main focus of our defense this week, and they performed it perfectly, and then the takeaways, something else we preached, and coming out of halftime we talked about we needed takeaways, and we continue to get them. So that's there's no secret, you eliminate the mistakes or reduce your own mentals and you get takeaways on the other side, hold on to the football, and good things usually can happen for you.
On that note, with the takeaways, you guys now have, I believe it's 7 in the 3-game win streak. Is there something that changed schematically, or can you point to why it's been so efficient?
Look, I've said it all along. It's every team I've been a part of, you try to make a focus, and everybody does it in different ways. You try to, you try to put a spotlight on it, and you try to change the way that you do drills. But I know this. It becomes contagious, and when you're able to get a couple, and then you get a couple more, and pretty soon it really becomes second nature, and it's hard to explain. But I know it always starts with effort. That's for sure. Effort and a conscious effort to go after the football, and we're getting that. Look, Kirby once again came up big. He's a ball guy. He's got instincts. Hutch you know, once again came away with that was a hell of a play he had. He's got some instincts about him. So, but there again, that's from putting a little pressure on the quarterback, and we made the plays that were out there for us.
That first one, that
Jamal a little bit.
I got you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Eric.
that first Hutchinson pick, he doesn't drop in coverage a whole lot. What did you see there or what did AG see there to make that call to have him drop?
Well, look, it was just that was the zone pressure there, and it was one of those where, you know, you're trying to hit the interior of their offensive line a little bit, and it's a change up, and you know, you're always assuming Hutch is going to come more than he's not, and so it was a shot to go up the middle, and then get him out of there, which he just becomes that kind of flat hook player. And you know, you want him in the window. You don't always think about he's going to get a pick, but you want him in the right window. He's exactly where he needed to be, and the quarterback kind of thought he could get it over him, and it's a heck of a play by him.
You speak of Jamal a little bit. You know, we talked to Deuce earlier this week, and he called him the leader of the team. I guess, like, coming into the season, not many people maybe thought of him in that role. You know, he wasn't the sexiest name on the roster. I guess, like, does that kind of, you know, define his performance today? Does it kind of define, like, the attitude of his team as well, just kind of that underdog role a little bit? And has he established himself as a lead back, you know, with these type of performances today?
Well, I mean, look, his production speaks for itself, and everything that you see and know about him is exactly who he is. He's all heart, and he's emotion, he's heart, and he just is a steady, productive, hard-running, hard-working, smart football player. And he's just, there again, he you know, if you just listed your most consistent players, most dependable, consistent players, he would definitely be at the top of that list, you know. He would be one of those guys. So I would say he is definitely a leader on our team. But there again, what he did today doesn't surprise me, you know. And look, that's another credit to this offensive line. I mean, they just, once again, it's not the easiest thing in the world now when you choose to run the ball, and the defense knows that you're going to run it, and they probably have an idea of where you're going to run it when you get that late in the game. And our offensive line finished that game out for us.
One more thing on the Hutch pick, just what sort of spark did that give you guys, right? That was really, I mean, you're trailing by a couple there, it's still early, but you score, you get another stop, you score again, then you come out of halftime, just sort of that whole turn of events, I guess.
Yeah, it was big. It was big. I mean, that was the play that we needed at that moment, you know. And there again, look, this is why they've won. They play the long game. They play smart football. They wait for the opponent to beat them. They capitalize on a mistake, and we were able to play that game today ourselves. And when we needed a play, we capitalized. You know, Hutch made a play, and that changed our fortune there a little bit. But that's the ebbs and flows of the game, right?
You kept saying, we need to make a play. We need to stack one win on top of another just to learn how to do it. Since it started to happen now, what have you sensed any kind of change?
No, this is the same team it's been. As far as all that goes, it's the same team that showed up after the Washington game and the week after that. It's the same. They put in the same amount of work. You know, it's just, man, when you bank the reps and you continue to talk about these things and you clean up a few things and you know that you're really only one play away, literally, and you can't look at anything outside of that. You just say, look, for all the errors or things that we made a mistake on, the opponent did too, but we made the error that was the one that killed us, and now we're making the plays that are helping us win these. But nothing has really changed as to what we are or what we do. I mean, we're figuring things out.
With Pascal and Harris down today, you needed somebody to step up. You turned to Kaminsky in that starting role. Seemed like he was in on a lot of plays. What did you think of the performance without really getting the full film view of it?
Yeah, from afar, I thought he did some good things for us. You know, he's another guy you can count on what he's going to bring to the table. You know, he's high effort. He's a smart football player. You know, he's tough. He's physical, and yeah, I mean, I felt like there was a couple of plays where the ball got out on the perimeter, you know, and every once in a while something like that's going to happen, you know. I mean, this quarterback could run a little bit, but all in all, I thought he stepped up and really helped us today.
What about Alim? Looked like he was making
Big Mac, man. Look, here's the thing, Mac there's so many things that Mac does that I don't think goes noticed. You know, it can go unnoticed at times, but I mean, he and Bugs. But we're on Mac. They do a ton of dirty work in there, and they have consistently been all year for us. Have just banged away in there, and they've helped our run defense. And you know, it's hard to run in there with those two guys, and he's one of the biggest reasons. But for him to be able to, you know, make the TFLs today and affect the quarterback like he did, you know, that was great to see. You know, because we know what Mac's capable of, but you know, he just did it a different way today. He helped us win in a different way. He's been there, but that was good to see.
Do you believe in the you know, learning to win? Like, you have such a young team and going through some of those moments early on in the season when you didn't make them, or even last year when you didn't make those plays. Do you believe that has maybe helped you now? I mean, this has seemed like maybe your best all-around performance.
Well, look, I think that it's the team that we've developed and the guys that we've kept. It was all for a reason, and because you know you're going to hit hard times, and so you know we've learned from them. We hadn't let them bury us. We've learned every week. And the guys just continue to put in the work, and they want to learn, they want to go, and it's one more week. And, you know, and we found a way to win again. So, you know, now it's on to Buffalo. Short week.
Is there enough time for Jeff to get cleared for the Buffalo game?
No. Yeah, he'll be out. I mean, I can't imagine. I'm pretty sure. We just talked about it. I don't think there's any way possible he can play.
What does 3 in a row win, though? Like last game, you know, you guys snapped a lot of those streaks. You know, able to do what you're able to do. Now, 3 wins in a row. I mean, what does that mean to put that in the context of what that means for you?
You know, I just think it's for our guys, it's another way to just to memory bank what it took to win this game, this type of game on the road, knowing that type of opponent, what we had to do, and performing and producing inside this game plan and everything we needed to do once again. I mean, I think it's just staying true to who they are, put in the work, and you know, look at the details, focus on the details, and don't look or listen to anything else, man. Let's just worry about us and what we have in front of us. And there again, it's a credit to our players and coaches.
Just you declined a couple penalties early. Was that just based on the type of game you expected, the weather? I mean, maybe you can explain those decisions.
You mean to get them in third down, or?
You know, I think there was one first down and the other one was third down. Obviously, we just sort of took those spots instead of moving back to 5 or 10 yards.
Yeah, like I wanted to get them in third down and not second long. And then the first down. Which one was that? I'm trying to remember.
Maybe illegal formation, or it was a 5-yard penalty.
So instead of 1st and 15, second and 10. Yeah, I just want one less down.
Was that just based on, again, the weather or the inability to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
If head coach Dan Campbell is ever talking about a momentum play, he's probably talking about something made on the defensive side of the ball and a takeaway. That comes to Aidan Hutchinson's first half interception there in the second quarter before going into halftime. Hutch, first off, on the day, he had a few tackles. He had a pass defended, a fumble recovery, and that big man interception was so critical today. I mean, just 3 tackles on the day. How impactful is every time, though, he makes a play on the ball?
I know, Danny, and it's the little things. Yeah, we see the interceptions, we see the turnovers, but I see Aidan doing some nice things on the line of scrimmage. I see him sticking to his guys, getting them off of them. I see him keeping contained on a lot of outside plays, not letting guys beat him to the outside. And when he gets his opportunity to make a play, a sack, a tackle, he's doing it. He's finishing. So it's a lot of little things that he's doing, but of course, those big things like the interceptions and the fumble recovery, those are huge for us.
And the play of the game has to be Aidan Hutchinson's interception there before the half, because what the Lions did was they picked off Daniel Jones. They were forcing him to throw in the air. Then this offense answers with a touchdown, and then the defense comes back out after that Aidan Hutchinson interception, and they force a 3-and-out. So that was momentum swinger in that one. But what did you see that led Hutch to dropping back and securing that pass.
It was a beautiful call by Aaron Glenn, our defensive coordinator. Basically, it was a zone blitz. So instead of rushing the passer, Aidan dropped back into coverage. I don't think Daniel Jones seen him at all. Daniel threw the ball. And this is nice. You know, we're big men. We don't get the chance to mess with the ball much.
Yep.
So when you get it and you grab it and you catch it, wow, that was impressive from Aidan. So I love the whole play by Aidan Hutchinson, but it was a great call by Aaron Glenn.
Yep, Hutch would take off for about 19 yards. He just looks really natural when he's carrying the rock, and I don't know. I mean, he's 6'7". Put him in as tight end sometime.
I know.
You know?
Why not, Danny?
Red zone
Why
plays,
not?
why?
I like that.
Why not? Okay, let's look at the quarterback, Jared Goff's stats, who was super cool, calm, composed today.
Yes.
Never had to worry about him in there. He was even scrambling at one point. I think about a 20-yard scramble. It was called back, a holding penalty on Penei Sewell. We saw that. It was a little, I don't know, questionable. What did you see from Jared Goff today?
Well, you know, I would like to know his top speed. What top speed did Jared Goff hit on that run?
I bet he would love to know as well.
I bet he would. But look, he used his legs well. He was able to buy time, too. And that's what Jared has been doing. I've been noticing he's been doing a lot more of that. If he doesn't have it, he'll move around. He'll get around in the pocket just enough to buy more time so he could get the ball downfield. But his composure, Danny, just like you talk about, each and every game, I don't care what's going on, Jared is going to stay like that. And that's a good quality to have as a quarterback.
Yeah, let's hear from the cool, calm, and collected quarterback standing by the podium now.
We lose and we win, it's like, yeah, we don't care.
Can't figure something.
Yeah.
Just what does it mean for this team? You know, 2 straight on the road, just 3 in a row, and now you know Dan always talked about you had to win 1 to win 2. You got to get 2 to get 3, and stacking these together and being in the conversation in November and December. How important is that for this team?
Yeah, it's very important. I think this league is so much about runs. It's about going on runs, and you get on both sides of them sometimes. You get on the bad side, which we've been on at one point, and right now we're on the good side of one, and it's 3 in a row. And by all means, we're a team that no one really wants to play right now. We're kind of in a little bit of a groove, and it's a good feeling.
What about the red zone? They were so good coming in. You guys were really effective in the red zone today.
Yeah. We're really good in the red zone too.
Yeah.
So we kind of were ready for that challenge. You know, we heard all week about how good they were in the red zone, how good they were on 3rd down, and I don't know our numbers on 3rd down, but specifically in the red zone, I thought we did a good job.
And what about Jamal? Now leads the league in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, when you put a list together, the most consistent, durable guys on this football team, he probably goes to the top of that list. Just what he's meant for you guys this year.
Yeah, he's our horse, and anytime we can get down there tight in the red zone, it feels automatic with him at times, and you know, as a quarterback, sometimes you want to throw him in, but you know, Jamal's automatic, and I certainly have no upsetness about scoring touchdowns, you know, with him like that.
What's the feeling now for a team that's playing as efficiently as it is now? You're winning turnover battles that might not have been going your way earlier. Be in that kind of groove, and what kind of confidence does that build?
Yeah, it's points off turnovers, and it's complementary football, and in order to play complementary football, you have to have something go your way either way, and we've been doing that in these last few weeks, and defense has created turnovers. I think it was 3-0 today, and typically that's going to win you the game by a good margin, and today it did. But seeing the way they're playing, the confidence they're playing with, it fuels us and allows us to play that complementary football that we've been preaching.
What about some of those young guys on defense, Aidan and
Yeah.
Kirby, again
Fun,
getting
man.
turnovers? I mean, that's got to be fun, right? To watch
It's
these
so
young
fun.
guys
It's so
make
fun.
plays.
It's so fun, and you know, Aiden's got pretty good hands, man. Like, he's got 2 interceptions for a D lineman. I don't know if anyone else has 2. I gotta imagine it's him. And then Kirby's just so nosy. You know, he's got a nose for the ball and has been that way. And I think he's starting to kind of grasp it a little bit more now, and you can see that showing up in these last few weeks. And those 2 guys together, man, are turnover machines in these last few weeks, and it's fun.
Dan was talking about you need to have a play like Aidan made to really turn a game.
Yeah.
What kind of fuel does that provide when you see a play like that?
Yeah, it's huge. We had talked about that all week. The way the game went was kind of exactly how we wanted it to go. And for us offensively, it was just take care of the ball, let our defense play their plan. We're going to stop the run, and then, you know, hopefully they make mistakes. And they did. Like, they made the play when they threw it to them, and we capitalized on it. But I think offensively, just knowing our role today and knowing what our job was, just to kind of steady the boat and stay on the field and finish drives, and we did a pretty good job of that. Good. All right, guys.
You just heard Jared Goff speak a lot about his running back, the
Yeah.
workhorse, Jamal Williams, who, of course, is our player of the game with 3 touchdowns on the day. We talked about it. He now leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns with 12, and this is Jamal's 5th game this season with multi-touchdown score. Like, how difficult is it to be that consistent,
I mean,
Lomas?
think about it. Barry Sanders didn't even do
He
that.
surpassed Barry,
Yeah,
yes.
He surpassed Barry. Anytime you surpass Barry Sanders, you are doing something. So,
Yep.
so happy for Jamal, what he's been doing. And it's been all year long, Danny. He's the one consistent, I think, that we've had all year long. He's been tough. He's been doing whatever he has to do. He's been healthy for us. So he's been doing everything he's needed to do. And like you say, he's our touchdown machine.
He
so
really is.
He's been doing it all. Thank you, Jamal.
Yeah, and Jamal didn't have to do every single thing by himself today. He had Justin Jackson in there,
Yes.
who was picking up some yards on the ground as well.
I like him, Danny.
Yeah.
I do. And he runs violently, too. He's a big guy, runs violently. He does a great job in the backfield when he's given his opportunities. But I also like him on special teams, too. He's pretty good with the kick return for us, always putting us in good position to start off with. So I like what Justin Jackson has done. I hope he could get a little bit more playing time. We like 32 and we like 30, but number 42, I like him, too.
Yeah, especially with Craig Reynolds, who is on IR right now.
Yes.
Justin Jackson, an undrafted free agent, who, like you mentioned, is taking the kickoff returns from Khalif Raymond's load. Khalif continues to be a steady horse as well for
That's
this
right.
team. So that about does it for the running back game, them being able to be consistent and balance the load there with Jamal and Justin. In the pass game, we talked about it a little bit. They did get Chark back. He wasn't completely involved in this game.
Yeah.
I think they had one block set up for him. But you had Khalif Raymond coming up with a big 3rd down conversion play. Tom Kennedy,
Yes.
Amon-Ra St. Brown
Yes.
is coming on back. And you still don't have Josh Reynolds back here,
Exactly,
who's
Danny.
also dealing with a back injury.
And think about it. We got T.J. Hawkinson is no longer with us. You know, one of our other big threats. But you're right. These guys are starting to step up more. And I know it's a matter of them getting healthy, being able to get out on the practice field, get your chemistry going with your quarterback, Jared Goff. So I know that takes time. But you can see it little by little starting to come back around. And with Amon-Ra St. Brown out there, man, you don't have a lot to worry about because he's so dependable. He's going to be where he needs to be at. He's going to make the catch for you, and he's going to make an impactful play for you each and every time he gets the ball.
He sure is. I mean, a lot of people are talking about how explosive, a lot of the coverage around this team, just explosive is what is the first word that they use to describe this offense. What kind of mindset do you think Ben Johnson takes into these games as a first-year play caller?
You know what? The aggressive mindset. Look, he's a relatively new guy on the scene. A lot of people don't know about him. I know he wants to build his name, build his resume, so he's so creative. I like some of the formations he comes up with.
The 3-back set was different
Wasn't that
today.
different?
Very
I
different.
mean, I love that. And it was even one play where he lined Panay Sewell up all the way out like he was a wide receiver.
It looked
on
great.
one of the play.
It was
Absolutely.
a blocking in the back penalty.
Yes, exactly.
But I was ready for Panay to
Thank
run
you.
down to that
Hey,
end zone and catch the
feed
ball.
the big fella. Feed him,
Feed
Ben.
him. I love that. Very creative. I like how you said aggressive,
Absolutely.
creative. Another aggressive player on this team, Alim McNeill.
Yeah.
I feel like we just love to talk about Alim / Twinkle Toes.
Man, you know what? That's my guy. That's a little teddy bear right there. The big teddy bear. I couldn't call him little.
Nope.
But, man, always with a smile on his face. Always see this guy working hard at practice. Doesn't say a lot,
Nope.
Danny, but he says a lot on that field. And he spoke loudly out there today because he had a wonderful game, putting pressure on the quarterback in the passing situations and making critical tackles when he needed to make it. I think he got 3 TFLs
Yes.
today. Just all over the field. Great game, Alim McNeill. Please keep it going.
Going into this game, people were talking about Dexter Lawrence there for the New York Giants.
I was
the
too.
nose tackle, correct, for the Giants defense, and just how he was able to create so much havoc on that interior defensive line. And I think Alim McNeill took note of that. He said, I'm going to go in there and do the same exact
And
thing.
show them. That's right. Show them that you're here. You have arrived. you are the next man in line to be the dominant guy on there, and you're right. And also, I want to give Frank Ragnow, I want to give Evan Brown, I want to give Skipper, and I want to give Jonah Jackson a lot of credit.
Amen.
The interior of our offensive line did a great job against Dexter and Leonard Williams.
Yep.
So they did a great job of containing those guys, which was the key for us to be able to run the ball successfully.
I told you, Alim McNeill woke up feeling a little bit different today. Here is my post-game interview with the defensive lineman. Alim, you guys hold the NFL's leading rusher, Saquon Barkley, to just 22 yards on the ground, and you force quarterback Daniel Jones to throw as many interceptions he's thrown all year, 2 of them. Why was this defensive attack so disruptive today?
Well, we knew that's what we had to do in order to win this game. We had to be very physical with them. And a guy like Saquon over there, a generational talent over there, running back. And Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. We knew if we made it hard for him and made it hard for Saquon, we had a chance to win this game, and that's exactly what we did. So, but definitely respected him for sure. But yeah, that's what we just had to do.
You set the tone early, a sack on the first defensive drive. Then you're splitting double teams, getting to runners, compiling 3 TFLs on the day. What was your mindset to come in here and just help suffocate that Giants offense?
Yeah, I don't know. I just woke up feeling a little different today, and I was just telling myself, it's time to, go ahead and get myself on the scene. I got to do what my coaches expect me to do, and it was just a lot of things I woke up with on my mind today, and I was able to put it all into fruition on the field. So I'm looking to keep going doing this. I don't want this to be the only day I do this. So.
You woke up then, what was the first thing on your mind?
The first thing on my mind was getting this W first, but then I was just thinking, with my individual play, I can help the team out, ultimately getting that W. So if I just do my job and extra, we can win today. 3
W's in a row. Who is this Lions team right now?
That's what we're figuring out ourselves, but that's 3 dubs in a row, so you can call us what you want. So, but that's 3 in a row if I've never seen it.
Thanks, Alim. Congrats.
Thank you.
We are close to wrapping up Detroit Lions Live post-game show presented by MGM Grand Detroit. But first, we have to get to scores around the National Football League today. I think some may be a little bit surprising. Packers losing to the Titans. Rams not getting it done against the Saints. New Orleans getting that win over there. Patriots putting it on the Jets. I know that was an important one for their division here today. Colts almost.
Yes.
They lose by 1 to the Eagles. Washington Commanders puts it all over the Texans. You have Browns just missing the Bills, 31-23. That could have been good for the Lions going into next week. Anyways, Ravens getting it done over the Panthers, and Falcons just edging out the Bears. And the rest are still ongoing. Okay, we talk about a short turnaround.
Yes, Danny.
You've done this game before.
Yes.
How quick is this turnaround?
It's very
Lions
quick,
taking on
Danny.
Bills Thursday.
Very, very quick. It's not a lot that you could do. It's not a lot of game planning that's going to go in with these coaches. Basically, what you're seeing out here today is almost what you're going to see against Buffalo here.
Fine.
That's right. If we could get those same results, I'll take the same thing we had out there. The biggest thing is for those guys to just try to rest their bodies between now and Thursday and just get ready for another physical game.
Okay, you mentioned it might look a lot like this out here Thursday. So what is your final takeaway from this game?
Well, my final takeaway, the Lions, I could almost say this was a complete game.
You can
Danny.
say that.
I can say
You may
this
say
was
that.
a complete game. Love to see the way the Lions took control of this game early in the game. They were able to sustain and win this game. And Danny, the best play in football is the kneel down, and we were able to do that.
Twice in a row now.
Oh my God, I
2
love
weeks
it.
in a row.
I love it.
We
It
love
warms
it.
a big fella's
I know.
heart. to see
It takes
that.
a lot. He's a large fella. All right, for Lomas Brown, I'm Danny Rogers. Thanks so much for tuning in. Another dub for these Detroit Lions. 3 wins in a row. This one coming over the New York Giants here at MetLife Stadium. And what are we, in East Rutherford,
East
New Jersey?
Rutherford, yeah.
Yeah.
With a lot of trash, too.
Oh
Danny.
my gosh, look, we're not off the air yet.
Oh, I'm
my
sorry.
God.
I'm sorry.
We'll be back here in a month. Detroit will take on the Jets then, which will be a very big game. But for now, Lomas Brown, Danny Rogers, we will see you Thursday as the Detroit Lions host the Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving Day. See you there.